Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film a video on getting ready with me. We're going to be using a lot of products I've never used before for me personally. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I am going to be using the primer Angel Veil by NYX. I've never used this before, so we're going to see how it works. Put a little bit on there, and it does say it's a skin perfecting primer. It says treat your skin to this very velvety primer, feels lighter than a cloud and leaves skin looking and feeling divine. So let's see how divine it makes my skin feel. So we're just gonna start out. Oh yeah, definitely feels velvety on the skin for sure. Makes your skin feel really, really soft. Love that. A little bit more. All right, so yeah, I really like this primer actually. I've never used it before. It does make my face feel very, very soft and velvety. So yeah, I like it. So let's go ahead with the next step. We're going to be using also a new foundation today. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Foundation, Natural Finish Anti-Pollution. I got two different colors just because I wasn't sure what tone to use for my skin. They didn't really have anything that super matched my skin tone. So we're going to use a little bit of both. So let's go ahead. But before we put that on, we also have a new beauty blender I wanted to try out. And it looks like this. It says it's rose water infused. And it just says this plush three-sided rose scented infused sponge applicator is designed to seamlessly blend and apply liquid, cream, or powder formulas. And it says it can be used wet or dry. If using wet, it says to submerge into water and squeeze out the excess. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So it's nice and soft. So it's not too hard. Kind of smell the rose in there. Maybe, I don't know. So let's go ahead and submerge it into the water. And while that is going, we'll get the foundation ready. Okay. So now that it is soaked in water, I do still smell the rose in there, but it's not that strong of a scent. So all right, let's go ahead and put the foundation on. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. That is a little dark. All right, so let's go ahead and mix that together. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be too dark for my skin, but we're going to make it work. So far, it looks like it's applying pretty well with the sponge. I do like the finish. It does kind of look like it blended in pretty well into my skin and didn't look too different than my actual skin tone. Looks like it's pretty medium coverage too. It doesn't, it's not super full coverage. As you can see, it still shows a little bit of the breakouts that I have. It doesn't completely cover that up. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the concealer, and this to me is not a new product, so this isn't a first time use, but this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I get the 12N Fair Neutral shade, and we're just going to go ahead and put some underneath our eye here, a little bit on the nose, on the chin, and then I want to hit the few spots that I have, and maybe a little bit on my eyelids to kind of give it a prime for the shadow we're going to put on. Okay, so we're going to grab our sponge again and start blending out the concealer. I do have to say it is working pretty well at blending out everything, so even though I thought it wasn't going to do a very good job since it is a little too soft, but it seems like it is doing a pretty good job. I'm trying to really push in the foundation and concealer into my skin. My hair keeps getting in the way. I like to take my time on this part just so I can make sure I have everything pushed into the skin so everything looks natural and blended. Okay. So yeah, now that that part of it's done, we are going to move on to powder. And the powder I'm using currently also is not a new product for me. It's the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, and this is in the shade 05 Fair. So we're going to go ahead, and what I like to do is just kind of tip it over, tap it out a little bit, and use the lid. And then I'm going to grab my powder brush. This is a Moda brush. It doesn't have a number on there, so I apologize. I did get this out of one of my BoxyCharm subscriptions, so we're going to go ahead and just swirl the brush around, tap everything off, and go ahead and start applying it to my face. I have really oily skin, so I normally set my entire face just because of that. Otherwise, my foundation will slip right off my face. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of is building up a little bit around my nose area now that I've added the powder. I try not to really overdo it with the powder just because I don't want my skin to look super cakey. And sometimes what I like to do is, if it does, even though I do have oily skin, what I like to do to kind of set my powder and foundation down is I'll use a little bit of the Max Fix Plus and I'll just spray it on my face and allow it to dry. That way it just kind of helps sink in all of that excess powder and everything on your face, and it helps it from looking super cakey and powdery. Now that's done, we're gonna go ahead with the next step, which is bronzer, and I'm just gonna be using my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and this one is the Sunset Bronzer shade, and it smells so good. Anyway, I'm going to use this Eco Tools brush. Again, I don't have a number on it, but I just got it at my local Walgreens or Meijer's or wherever that brand is sold. Take this, just start on the cheeks and then kind of work up onto the forehead. Oh yeah, also this is not a new product for me. Just a few of these products are new ones that I've never used before. Bronzer is now on, and then what I like to follow up with is blush, and today this is also not going to be a new product. It's going to be the Alamar Colorette Blush Trio, and this is what mine looks like. Obviously I've been using it for a little while, so I like to mix all three of these shades together, and this brush I'm going to be using is the Sigma F40. So we're going to go ahead and just tap into all of the colors there, tap off the excess, and just kind of tap away here. Put a little bit on the nose. Alright, so next I'm going to apply some highlight, and this is a new product for me. This is the Milani Afterglow Strobelight color. Let's see how this works. I've never used it before. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the Morphe M510 brush, just a really fluffy brush. And we're just going to swirl it around, tap off the excess. Wow, you guys see that? Look at that. Look at that highlight. My goodness. I really like it. So we're going to put a little on the nose, a little bit above the lip, and then I like to use a little bit on this part of my forehead just to give it a little bit of a glow up here. And then after that, I'm just going to take a brush that has no product on it. This is the Sigma F30, and I'm just going to kind of go over my entire face, blend everything out so it's nice and even. Yeah, all right, that looks good. So now we are going to do the eyebrows, and today this is a new product for me as well. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I don't know if I have the box, so yes. This is what the box looks like, and yeah, it says, "Oh my wow, precise and defined brows. This ultra fine pencil draws incredibly natural looking hair-like strokes that last for 12 hours." But yeah, anyway, this pencil here, the box says that it's an ultra fine brow defining pencil, so we're gonna go ahead and use that. So one side obviously has this little spoolie on it, and then the other side is the actual pencil, and it goes up and down there. So we're gonna go ahead and grab my mirror here so I can do this. We're gonna brush up on our brow hairs. All right, so we're gonna start filling my brows in. And what I like to do is I kind of like to just draw a little bit of a line. It kind of evens out the shape of my brow, and then I kind of just go through and lightly, and I hold it towards the end of the pencil, so it doesn't allow me to put too much pressure when I'm doing this. You don't want super dark brows either. Now I am having a little bit of a hard time getting into some of the spots here. Doesn't want to fill it in so much. You know, I usually use the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and it does tend to fill my brows in a little bit darker. But this one, it does seem to be doing the job. Yeah, what do you guys think? Compared to the other one, I think it does a pretty good job. Definitely looks more filled in than the other brow. All right, go ahead on to the next one. This is the one I always seem to have the most problems with. The shape isn't the same as my other brow, so I always got to work a little bit harder with this one. I think this color might actually be a little too light for my brows. Maybe that's why it's not looking like it's filling in that well. Let's go ahead and try to use the spoolie here. See right here where I don't have a whole lot of hair and I try to fill it in and it's not really giving me the desired effect there. Okay, so I'm not really 100% sure how I feel about this. Maybe I just need to get a different color. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, it does do a good job if you have, you know, maybe if you have more, not as thin brows as I do. So what I am going to do is I am going to take a little bit of my Anastasia Brow Definer, and this one's almost gone. Very little left, but I'm just going to take a little bit of this and just go over the area right there. It looks a little bit better. And then what I like to do at the end, I like to go over my brows after I fill them in with the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. I haven't really ever used stuff like this in the past, so I would like to try other products other than this brand and see how it works for my brows. Especially something that would be maybe more with a thinner brush is I guess what I'm trying to say. Something that is for thinner brows because I don't have very thick full brows. So this brush sometimes could be a little too big and it kind of gets all over my brows if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to kind of brush through and do upward motions. And it kind of just helps to make it look a little bit more natural. Like you can see more of the hairs instead of it all being like flattened and penciled in. Okay, so the last step before we finish up here, I am going to do my eyeshadow. Now, normally, especially when I'm going to work, I don't like to do anything super involved. I just like something simple that I can put on my eyes and be out the door. So I am going to just use some of my Tartelette Toasted palette here. This is what it looks like on the inside. And I'm just going to use some of the browns in this so I can just kind of give my eye a little bit of color before I go in with the favorite shadow that of all time. This is my favorite type of eyeshadow to use. It's the Stila Glitter and Glow, and this is in the color Smoldering Satin. This is absolutely my favorite eyeshadow. I love it. I get a lot of people who ask me what is on my eyes when I wear it. So yeah, let's get this part of it done and then we will, I will show you. If you've never used that product before, I can show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to start in the crease and just blend it out all over the eyelid and everything. And this is the color Latte right there in the Toasted Tartelette palette. I like to use circular motions, like back and forth motions, and then like circular motions to kind of blend everything out. Oh, I just got my eye. Wonderful. Oh, goodness. Oh, now my eye is gonna water. Okay, and I can't describe what this palette smells like, but it smells good. It really does. Okay, so now that we got it right where we want it, just kind of give the eyes some color. I'm going to also, oh, and by the way, this was the Morphe M504 brush, blending brush, a little bit of a bigger blending brush. This one is an Anastasia brush. It probably came in one of my eyeshadow palettes that I have. We're going to use a little bit darker of a color. I'm going to go in with Warmth. So we're going to put a little bit of that on the brush and kind of just use it to darken the inner corners up a little bit. It is pretty crumbly when you put the brush into the colors in the palette, but I don't really see a whole lot of fallout on my face, which is good. I know some people don't like that. It doesn't really bother me. Normally, this one doesn't really have a whole lot of fallout on your face, so that's good. Okay, yeah. That looks pretty good. I might come back to this palette and to use it for the inner corners once I'm done. All right, so time for the crown jewel here. The Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadow. As I said, absolutely one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. So what I like to do is I like to apply it right to my eye. So get in a little bit closer without blocking it. And I just like to spread it onto my eyelid. Okay, so you can see how super glittery it is. And then after that, I like to go back through and just kind of touch it up a little bit right where my finger kind of took some from the eyelid. So yeah, so that is the first eye done. Absolutely a stunning, stunning eyeshadow. And I do like it dries down really well. I don't have any glitter fallout from it throughout the day. It's just a very, very stunning eyeshadow. And they have so many different colors. The Molten Midnight, it's more of a black color. I also have a pink color in here. Looks like this. And this one is the Tulip Twinkle color. And they also have other ones that aren't from the Glitter and Glow line, but it's still the Stila. They're more of like, this one's called Mint Myth. And I believe this is more of like a opal ombre type liquid eyeshadow that they make, which is also very, very stunning color. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up the other eye. So, okay, now we're going to go back to that Tartelette palette. Let's see, what brush do I want to use? I'll go ahead and use the Morphe M124. It's just a flat brush, as you can see. And I'm going to go into the color Candle right here. Very pretty color. And then I guess if you really, really wanted to have a very bright inner corner, you can use something other than that eyeshadow palette. Like I can go back in with that Milani highlighter and just take a little bit on this brush. And as you can see, that definitely brightens it up. All right, so yeah. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a brow bone highlight. So that is done. And let's see. I think that's all that's left to do is the mascara. I've been using the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. We're going to go ahead and apply this. Yeah, you guys can definitely see compared to the other side how much of a difference this mascara makes. It's a very, very nice mascara and it comes off very easily when you're washing your face. It's a very nice mascara. I always do this to the side. I always hit this eye somehow and then it waters and it gets down underneath my eye down there. So we're gonna do the lower lash line. I just realized I didn't put eyeliner on, but you know what? I like the look without the eyeliner. Actually, to be honest with you, I think it looks nice without it, so we're not gonna put it on today. I always make the weirdest faces when I'm doing this. Alright, sorry guys. My camera died and I did not realize it, so I had to go ahead and charge it. So let me finish off what I was doing, if I can find my mascara. Alright, so we got the one eye done. And we're going to go ahead and finish up the other eye. Alright, so yeah, I really like how that turned out. Even without the eyeliner, I just feel like it kind of brightened up my eyes and opened up my eyes and doesn't make it look like super, super dark. And then we're going to go ahead and finish off this look here. The setting spray. I am going to use two different setting sprays today. One is the Maybelline Lasting Fix, and then this is the one I was talking about earlier, the MAC Prep and Prime. I don't know if you guys can see, but it kind of just helps everything set in. It's not 100% dry just yet. Normally I don't like to talk when I put this on because until it's completely dry, because I don't want it to sink into any of my expression lines on my face from talking. All right, so then we're going to top it off with the Maybelline the Maybelline Lasting Fix setting spray. And I just recently started using this about a couple of months ago. I just felt like trying something that was a little bit more affordable other than like the Urban Decay all-nighter that I normally like to use. So yeah, this I believe is like maybe $6 to $10 at Ulta, and it works really well for me. So this does last up to 16 hours of wear, and it's a matte finish. Since I have oily skin, I do like to use a more mattifying setting spray. So go ahead and spray that. Alright guys, so yeah, that's the finished look. Overall, I really like the products I used today that were new to me. The new Revlon Photo Ready Candid Foundation. I do feel like it did give me pretty decent coverage for the one application that I put on. I really like that. And then the beauty sponge, the rose water infused, now it's no longer white. But yeah, this one worked pretty well. I thought for it being very squishy, usually like the beauty blenders, or I normally use like the what is the name of that one? The Real Techniques. Oh, geez, that took a while. The Real Techniques one I like to use a lot. I do like the beauty blenders as well. If you don't want something that's super expensive to use, like the beauty blenders are, the Real Techniques ones are, in my opinion, are pretty much the same. I really like them. I use them more than I do the beauty blenders. And then this one, was literally like $5 at Meijer's, and I mean, it works very well too. So yeah, I really did like the sponge. I think it worked very well. The primer so far seems like it's working pretty well. It was very, very soft, very velvety, as it does say in here. So I will, obviously test out the foundation and the primer more in the future. But I mean, for not being super expensive, I mean, I always have my forehead lines up here. Foundation always seems to settle into them. But otherwise, yeah, I liked it really well. The brow pencil though, I like it, but I don't know if they have a darker color that I can maybe try. I really did have to work hard to get it to go into my brows, but I mean, otherwise I do think it did a good job. And like I said, obviously we'll be using some of these products more in the future to see how they perform over a period of time. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I believe that's it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a lip gloss on. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't even tell you what one it is because everything is worn off on the bottle. But so yeah, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on. So anyway, this completes this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it today. I know I always enjoy trying on new products and seeing how they perform. But yeah, if you guys would like to see more of these kinds of videos in the future, or if you have products that you would like me to try, leave that in the comments below. And so yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.